Right. Okay. Right. 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 Well, it's essentially a group of people. They're often pairs, and they go and normally it's across different countries.
Yep.
But I think the one that was filmed this time had like COVID restrictions or something,
Right.
so they only had to do it in one country, and they picked Canada.
Okay.
Um, so I've been watching that. It's been like getting towards the end of the show,
Okay.
and just in the latest episode, some of them went through St. John, New Brunswick.
Okay.
So I thought I thought of you.
Well, that's awesome, man. Race across
Yeah.
the world. So what did they do?
Oh, they just have to get to point A to point B
Sure,
on
but
like a very tight budget.
so you watched the episode.
Yeah.
And so what did they do in St. John, I guess is.
Oh, well, a couple of them were just passing through to get to the next point, like to hitch a ride,
Right.
and another pair were had to get some extra money for their budget and got like a temporary job in like a pub or bar.
Oh, that's crazy. So did they
Mm.
land in like did they airport into St. John? Like did it show our
Were no, they didn't. They didn't airport in. They have to go through like taxis or hitchhiking or buses, like all ground level stuff.
so they don't fly anywhere in Canada?
No,
Oh, that's a huge thing to do. Okay.
because they have like a certain budget that they have for the whole journey, and each leg it can take so much money, and it's like I mean, one of the pairs couldn't make it to the next leg because they just ran out of money and they
Yeah.
couldn't make it to somewhere to earn more.
Wow, okay. That's cool. I like that.
Mm. I was trying to look out for you in the background, but I couldn't see it.
No, probably not. 1 second.
Paul, what did you think of the Guardians film?
Who, Guardians?
What did you think of the Guardians film?
Oh, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was so good.
Oh yeah.
It was awesome. So, if I was to have one complaint, which is a stupid complaint,
Mm.
they had a buttload of songs in it for fillers, And I know Guardians is known for having like songs, but this was a lot of songs. So many songs in it. One sec here. I'm trying to... Why is this not working? There we are. Okay. It had so many songs that... and a lot of them weren't popular, famous songs like the first one had. The first one had, like, their soundtrack, whatever, had tons of popular songs. This one had some, but then a bunch of them that I'd never even heard before. It's like, what the heck? And I know they included some 90s and then like a 2000 one or whatever at the end. But it was a good movie, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I really, yeah.
It was emotional. I thought, oh no! And then they didn't, which was good. And yeah, so they left it. Oh, yeah, spoilers, I guess. Yeah, anyways. Here, I'll just turn my mic off for a sec. And you don't have to say anything.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so I loved it. I thought it was awesome. 2.5 hours. It was a good movie. And yeah. Yeah.
I like that each character had their own moment, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it really did. Yeah. It's so funny because I didn't like part 2 that much. And I forgot all about Gamora, that she met a demise or something, and I was just like, what the heck? I just forgot.
That would be from Infinity War Endgame.
Yeah, so what happened? I don't remember.
Well, in Infinity War, Thanos is getting all the stones. The Guardians split up. Rocket and Groot go with Thor. The rest go to Nowhere, which is that big head that was in this film. They go there to stop Thanos. Doesn't work. Gamora gets captured because she knows the location of where one of the stones is.
Okay.
And then essentially she gets thrown off a cliff of where the Soul Stone of where one of the stones is, because you have to give up something you love in order to get the stone. So the only thing Thanos loved was Gamora as his daughter. So he chucked off the cliff. She then died a permanent death because it's an exchange. And then Thanos went to win. He got all the stones, he snapped. But everyone dusted. She remained dead because hers was a permanent death. It wasn't via the stones or anything. And then in Endgame, when Thanos came back, that was because it was a past version of him. So it's a past version of Gamora.
All right.
From like a And so it's essentially Gamora as if she never met the Guardians.
Right. This is why I hate the multiverse. I really do.
That's fine.
I can't stand the multiverse. Anyways.
I love it.
Do you? Yeah, there's just no permanency. It's just doesn't make sense. I hate it.
I do feel that there was permanency in that.
In what, Gamora?
Like,
she's back.
It's like, but it's not her.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the one that we've known.
All right, Lee, whatever you say. Still sucks. All right. We got 20 seconds here. Ching, ching. We got Epic Zombie Killer. We got Ultimate Hater. We have Silver, the Night Wolf. We have Big Casino. Ching, ching. We're getting ready to start. I love it. We all need to do that for the rest of his days. Even if we see him in real life. Ching, ching. Which will happen. I got to get to the UK. So here we go. Gaming Podcast Group. Hey, welcome to episode, aka level 66 of the Gamers Pass podcast, where We get together, we chat about video games because we're very passionate about video games. We love them. We've been playing. I've been playing all my life. Lee, I don't know if you've really been playing all of your short young life, but I have turned you into a gamer, which is awesome, and I love it. And yeah, so it's just Lee and I today. James had just sent me a message a little bit ago. He said he can't. He can't join today because of the king's coronation with Camilla, and the choir boys are singing a song about Camilla, and so James is not able to make it today or something. It's really odd, but yeah, we are good, and so.
And go to the next room, like
So the first bit of
uh
you cut out. What were you saying?
didn't charge his laptop. He didn't.
He didn't
He
charge his laptop, all that stuff.
couldn't
Yeah.
be bothered to move to the next room.
It's so funny. And so yeah, we are going to have a very good discussion today. And we're not going to do much news. We are, but we're not, because I really want to focus on the discussion, our main topic, which is Redfall, which is Xbox, which is the future. If you haven't noticed, we did transition from all systems to mainly Xbox focused. That's me, okay? That is, I want that. I love Xbox. I love everything about Xbox. I really do. But I'm not one of those, and I say this all the time, I'm not one of those fanboys that can just, they're blind to everything. And like, oh, I can be subjective. I can give constructive feedback, and I'm just there's a lot of doom and gloom going around, and it's just nonsense, and I can't stand it. And we're gonna talk about it, and it's gonna be a good conversation. It's just gonna be Lee and I. And Mark, I guess if Mark, if you want, if you're still there, if you even wanted to join in and chime in today, there is a spot, as James is not showing up. Just let us know. Lee can give you the role, and you can hop right in, as long as you're not fishing or anything. If you're home, whatever, fine, come and join. It's all good. So and there's always an open invitation to anybody that would just like to join for an episode or two. Just hit me up, let me know, and you just got to have your camera, got to have your microphone, and that's it. So here we go. Joining me as always, it is Lee Everett. Lee, how you doing? And what have you been playing this week?
I'm doing awesome, and what I've been playing is Gears 5, obviously.
Gears 5 every
Um,
day. So heads up, every Friday, Gears 5 Horde mode. We had a wonderful time there 2 days ago. It
I
was awesome.
I tell you, every time we play Gears 5, we just end. Everyone leaves the party, and I'm just sat there like, now what?
Yeah, I
But
listen, Lee. I'm the same way, dude. It's just Gears, and I literally take time off of work to stream Gears 5 on a Friday early enough so I can get some good couple 50 round horde modes in. Just because our friendships are great, our gameplay is fun, and the conversations are awesome. We do talk about everything. There are night and day belief systems, or what would we call it? Their
back,
ideologies, or what's that?
backgrounds, I don't know.
Yeah, backgrounds, and it varies in ages. We got me and Pete as the old dudes. We've got Lee as the youngest pup, and we get James and Spuddy as the approaching middle age. We'll say approaching middle age. James is gonna go cry right now as soon as he hears that. So, all right, what else are you playing?
I've been playing some more Dead Island 2. Still trying to, sticking with a bit of that. And Redfall, but we'll
Yeah,
we'll
we'll chat
talk.
Redfall. Right. So, give me a breakdown on Dead Island 2. I just an honest opinion on Dead Island 2.
Um, Dead Island 2, it's not without its flaws. It's I just think it's a bit of fun. Once you get into it, I think it'd be fun. I think there are elements that I do very much enjoy, in terms of like certain matchmaking elements where it's like your the quest that you accomplish together is equivalent to what you've accomplished by yourself. And
Okay.
it's like, so if you've so as a group, because you probably wouldn't, you haven't played it by yourself, have you?
I have
You've
not, and I
played it.
will not.
No. So so like if I've completed some quests by myself, and then I join you, and then we surpass the point that I was at,
Yep.
it then counts as me completing those quests, so I don't have to then go back to my singular like account or whatever and then complete them again. I don't have to redo it.
All right. Yeah.
Which I quite like. Um, it's I do think um it's a game that was certainly because this game has been in the works for like a decade
Yeah,
now.
10 years, 3 different
Yeah.
devs or something like that. I don't know the full story. All my info comes from James. James is a big zombie
Mm,
dude. He likes some of those horror or most horror games, I believe. And so
yeah.
he's kind of really into that stuff.
Mm. But you can tell that it's like the the game is sort of it's a bit of an outdated concept, but maybe that's what we kind of need right now, where it's like we we need that because it's something different, and I think in a sense I'm all about having something a little bit different.
Okay.
Um, it's as long as it's like a good different,
Yeah, yeah.
But there are
Hi-Fi
just
Rush
elements.
different. Hi-Fi Rush different is awesome.
Yes,
That was
definitely.
a welcome thing.
And it was just like it was just so yeah, it could have just passed us by without giving us a
Yeah.
second thought.
It would have.
And yeah, and it was actually it was a great little game.
Yeah.
And so I can't fault it for it. It was actually really funny as well.
It was. Isn't that crazy? Hi-Fi
Yeah,
Rush. Nobody knew about it. It comes out on Game Pass. They do like this showcase announcement. We all love it and fall in love with the game. It's great.
yeah, yeah.
All right, so
Um,
keep
but
going.
yeah, the game looks really good. And I liked getting jump scared.
Nope.
But the it's a zombie game. Come on. Uh, um, uh, but the things that I didn't like were certain like modding choices with like immunities, um, the customization of like armor
Yeah.
for the character. Like
Yeah,
there
there's
was
some
none of
stuff
that.
missing for sure.
And what was a bit peculiar to me is like the use of cash in the game. It's like, well, what's the point of cash in a zombie apocalypse? It means nothing.
Yeah, but
It's
that's
like
how you purchase everything, I guess, and it's just
but when you purchase the stuff with the resources that you have to make the stuff.
it's what they something differently. It's something different. That's what they chose. That's what you wanted. You wanted something different. They gave it to you. That's
But
it.
it has to be good different.
I know. Yeah, the game's good. The game's fun when we're playing all together.
Mm.
Not a game that has roped me in that like I'm like I need to go play this again, and it is what it is. We'll finish it, of course. We'll definitely beat it, and any DLC that comes out, we'll play it. But anything else?
With Dead Island 2, no, not particularly.
But
But
that you're playing. Anything else? Have you tried
oh
anything
right,
else?
oh right, no. Outside of like Redfall, I haven't really had time this
Okay.
week.
Yeah, I hear you. So Lee, for me, other than streaming Dead Island 2, streaming Redfall, we dedicated 2 streams to Redfall. So we didn't. This was a game we were really looking forward to. We'll talk more about Redfall here in a bit. Um, I am beyond consumed and roped into with Star Wars Jedi
Oh,
Survivor.
oh, that's the game.
Lee, I'm telling you right now, I know I'm 20 hours in. I have the way I'm playing, I have 100+ hours ahead of me. I know I do. And it's because I'm exploring, I'm soaking it all in, and I'm taking an insane amount of screenshots that are just gorgeous. I'll probably post them to, I should post them to Discord just so you guys could see these insane in-game screenshots that I'm doing. They have a photo mode, but I'm not manipulating anything. The only thing I'm doing is I'm tagging it with Star Wars Jedi, and I'm changing just the. Oh, what's
Captain
that?
Like you're taking like Count Kestis out and stuff like that
I
of the
have only for a
screenshot.
couple of them.
All right.
Yeah, so if you have a phone or anything and you have an Xbox, they have an Xbox app which is amazing. And so all your screenshots and stuff there, you can actually go in and take a peek at it, like all of your screenshots. And I wanted to find you one. I'm on a planet right now that I just took this ridiculous looking screenshot. Oh, that's friggin' cool. Let me just hold it up to the screen. Sorry about my iPad. It's trash. If anyone wants to buy me a new iPad, they can. But look at this.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
It's in the red sand. There's a dead storm, a couple dead stormtroopers, and of course, Cal's got his. I'm so mind blown with this game. I'm loving it so much. These are going to use for wallpaper, desktop wallpapers. Honestly, there's so many of them. I've taken probably around 60 shots so far. Some of them are, most of them are really awesome. A couple of them are like, I just not feeling it right now. So, gameplay's amazing. Okay, gameplay is awesome. Graphically, it's gorgeous. I know I streamed it that one day, and then that dude was in the cement, half of his body. Funny. That's the first time I've seen any sort of glitch. I'm playing on Xbox Series X. I have no lag. I'm playing it on quality mode. So graphically, that's what they're pushing, right? So I have no lag issues. So all of these issues people are saying that even they're saying that are on Xbox, I'm not sure where they're seeing it. Maybe they're playing maybe a harder difficulty. It gets a little weird. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's like I saw a thing that was someone talking about the game, and they put in the comments on the bottom of the page that it's like once I saw that it was at 720p. I was like, why do they keep making games half finished? And I was like, what's your source? Like, where did you
720.
get this in? Where did you get this information? Because it's like that's not true.
Yeah, this is what I guess this is part of the downfall when we get into the Redfall conversation. When we start seeing and hearing all of this negativity going on, so much is getting misconstrued, taken out of context, and messing up that people are just jumping on the bandwagon saying, "Well, this, and this." It's so frustrating. One guy, because I'm part of Facebook groups and I'm part of this Xbox Series X S one, which I thoroughly dislike now because it's just hate Xbox, hate Xbox. But I'm like, this is an Xbox group. I joined so I can be with fellow like-minded Xbox people. I don't care about console wars. It's stupid. And so
It's like being a part of Star Wars. Everyone just argues about Star Wars. Like
it's true. It's true. And so, and I'm this guy made a Phil Spencer needs to step down, and he just went on this massive rant. And I'm like, he needs to be kicked out of this group because he has zero clue on what Phil has done for Xbox. He has zero clue, and he's just going on. But all he's doing, he's watching YouTubers that are saying all of this stupid stuff for views, and that's it. All they're doing is just trying to get views, pushing a certain point of view, and instead of all the facts. And so on this, back to the Star Wars, this guy is like, let me know when they introduce dismemberment. I get what they're doing, Disney, no dismemberment, blah, blah, blah. They're trying to push it more family friendly. And I replied, I was like, dude, I just chopped off this stormtrooper's leg 5 minutes ago. What are you doing? Look into the game, get your own ideologies about the game, play it. He didn't want to play because there was no dismemberment. There is dismemberment. It's clearly said dismemberment in leading up to the game. And so arms, so you can chop off a stormtrooper's arm and you can see all the sizzling from like the full cut through, and then you can watch it fizzle out. And I'm like,
yeah, like
amazing details. Yeah, incredible details. So,
and you're not gonna see in Star Wars, at least, you're not gonna see people like just sort of bleeding out on the floor because their arms been chopped off,
right?
Because it gets cauterized immediately by the lightsaber.
And so and let's just do a quick second about Star Wars. If you watch all the movies, how much blood really is in Star Wars? maybe one scene, other than Anakin melting in the cantina in A New Hope. They cut the dude's arm off. It falls to the ground and there's some blood. That's it. Out of like 9 movies. So either way, but there's dismemberment in the Last Jedi.
I mean, there's even blood in the Bad Batch because it's like because one of them got shot, and it's like, well, even then, I mean, it might not have cauterized completely, so they ended up bleeding. Like,
It's crazy. And so
yeah.
all I'm asking, and I need to do this too. Okay, I'm speaking to myself, and I was going to tweet this out. We just the console war, the quick judging and hating, it all just needs to stop, and we just need to sit back and just look at the whole picture. And we're going to get into the whole doom and gloom with air quotes of Xbox and their demise. It's so stupid. But we're going to get into that here in a bit. But before we do that, that's all I've been playing anyways, Lee. I don't want to play anything else right now other than Star Wars Jedi Survivor, play Gears 5 Horde mode, and then of course with you guys Dead Island 2. And so right now, what else is coming up though? Is there another big game coming up soon? Or are we just
well, I guess the closest thing to that I'd say would be Diablo 4 next month.
Oh, okay. Diablo 4. That's when my life is over for a while. All right, I'll be playing that like crazy, and we'll be streaming that like crazy too. So we got to finish Dead Island 2.
Yeah, I wanna get onto that as well. And there's a beta this month, isn't there? Like another open beta.
Yes, actually, this weekend coming is that the 11th? The 11th to the 14th or 12th to the 14th.
Right. Okay.
Did you play the last beta?
No, I never got a chance.
Okay, do it. Play it. Give it a chance. I know you're new to dungeon crawlers, but it is so wonderful. I'm just throwing it out there, okay? It's and play your barbarian, whatever. All right, I'm gonna get on a Diablo rant if I don't stop. Activision Blizzard jam. I love those guys, and they're doing good. So here we go. Getting into Lee news before we get into our full topic. Let's go. We need like sound effects and music, like a Lee news sort of. All right, go ahead. That was your that was your intro.
I have no idea what that would be then.
Someone could create it.
Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, in terms of Lee news, it's a lot of it's about Redfall, to be honest. But yeah, Bethesda will show a ton of new gameplay at Starfield Direct next month.
All right, let's stop right there.
Yeah,
this is where. And we're going to talk more about this thing here in a month. The Xbox Showcase, it's replacing my beloved E3, and it's okay. But this is going to be awesome. I am so stoked for this Xbox event. I can't wait. And go ahead, keep going. Sorry, I cut you off.
It's interesting that they call it a Starfield Direct, though.
Yes, because that's what we're getting. We're getting the Xbox Showcase. And then right after that, we're doing a Starfield show. Or there, I said we are, like I'm part of Xbox, Phil. Like they're doing a Starfield showcase right after. Now, this was already announced before Redfall, okay? So I don't want anybody saying, "Oh, they're doing this because Redfall." No, they already had planned. We've been waiting for Starfield for a while now. We can't wait for Starfield. And they're going to give us some meat and potatoes.
Yeah. So, yeah, it sounds like it's going to be getting a lot of new information on the studio's RPG during the event.
Yes.
For now, we don't know the exact start time. But for the Starfield portion of the show, but we know that we can take a solid, educated guess.
Sure.
It'll be on June 11th.
Yeah.
and the start time will be 10 a.m. Pacific time.
Right. So 1 a.m. Eastern, or 1 a.m., 1 p.m. Eastern, which is 2 p.m. Atlantic time, my time, which is 6 p.m. Lee K time. And
Italy.
so here's a little tidbit. I don't know if you have this line. It says Microsoft says to expect new surprises and first looks from Xbox Game Showcase 2023. Says join us for some new surprises and first looks from our incredibly talented internal studios and our many creative partners around the world. This is the day gamers have been waiting for to see what is coming to Xbox, PC, and Game Pass. Ding! I am beyond excitedly.
Man, you're such a good talker.
No, I could honestly, I could do a sales job, but I am beyond excited for this showcase. I'm not doubting whatsoever anything. It's just like, yeah, let's go Xbox Showcase. We're gonna rock this, and it's gonna be fun. And I'll probably like, yeah, I love my Xbox. It's so good. I got 2 Series X. I play it in here for stream. I play it in the living room for normal gaming. For my personal time. It's fun. I just love it. I love Xbox. You can see I got my Xbox logo. I got my trophy, and there's another Xbox logo up top, but you just can't see it. So I'm an Xboxer, hands down. I will always be an Xboxer. All right, keep going, Lee.
All right, and then, I guess it would move on to Redfall when Phil Spencer says that Xbox needs to improve its development process.
Okay, no Redfall yet. No Redfall talk.
And then I have got a little bit of PlayStation, in a sense where they're making a Gran Turismo film. It's releasing on August 11th.
Yeah, so I've never played a Gran Turismo game, but they're doing a movie, and I'm not a car guy, so personally don't care. But it's good for us gamers that enjoy gaming, and if they're gonna make good movies from games, heck yeah, bring them out.
I mean, like how many like Need for Speed films have there been as well? Like,
has there been a lot of Need for Speed films?
It feels like there have been.
I don't know.
I've certainly seen one of them. It's got.
I've never seen any of the movies.
Yeah, well,
I know there's one for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen one, but
Okay.
I was sure that they made more.
But
yeah, in terms of Gran Turismo, it's got David Harbour in. He's from Stranger Things.
Mark, do you want to hop in? Do you want to hop into the podcast, Mark, so you can give your thoughts on this whole Redfall Xbox stuff? Sorry, Lee, go ahead.
No, it's all right. And Orlando Bloom. So
I love that guy. Orlando Bloom's awesome.
Yeah.
Legolas, yeah, but it was Legolas, and then it was Pirates of the Caribbean, wasn't it?
Will Turner, yeah.
Will Turner. I need to go back to watch Pirates of the Caribbean. I said during my Sea of Thieves phase, I was like, I need to watch Pirates of the Caribbean. I was all into it, and then I just didn't get to do it. So, a Need for Speed movie was in 2014. Big Casino said, okay, all right.
Yeah, it had Jesse in from Breaking Bad.
Yes, it did. I still didn't watch it, but I remember he was on there. Do you have the Game Pass referral news?
Game Pass referral news.
Here, I'll do it. I'll bring it up, okay? So, the millions watching right now, Xbox has introduced the new Game Pass friend referral program. The new friend referral program, as it is known, allows current Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and PC Game Pass players to gift up to 5 14-day PC Game Pass trials to friends who aren't using the service. So, I got my notification the other day. Yesterday, I think it was. I was just sitting there playing, and boop, boop, Game Pass Ultimate refer friends. If any of you would like to have Game Pass Ultimate to test it out for 14 days, let me know. I've got, I think it is 5 codes. I haven't checked it yet, but I can refer it. You can play it for 2 weeks of hundreds of games and brand new games, older games, middle games. It's Game Pass Ultimate, of course, is the best thing in gaming of all time. It really is. It's Netflix of gaming. It's incredible. Xbox Game Pass. So if you guys would like, anybody just hit me up on Discord, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. I'm on all of it. So let me know. Xbox friend referral, and I'm gonna probably try to promote that on every stream just to see if just to get more people into the ecosystem, which is perfect. You'll
Heck
never,
yeah.
yeah. Even if you're just a PC gamer, the PC Game Pass is outstanding. PC Game Pass is outstanding. You're not fishing, are you, Mark? Where is the ultimate hater? The ultimate hater. Oh, he's not on Discord. All right, Lee, keep going with some other news. I'll work out Mark here.
Yeah, sure. Right. And then there has been. Have you heard of a game called Chrono Odyssey?
Chrono Odyssey. I have not.
It's apparently it is a jaw-dropping fantasy RPG, launching to Xbox Series X and S. And I've seen a trailer of it, and it does actually look really good.
All right, hold on. So, is it an RPG?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, give it to me again. Because
Um. Yeah.
there you are, Mark. You can join.
Chrono Odyssey is a yeah. I mean it's yeah. They also say upcoming fantasy MMO RPG. Apparently that's a big turn off for a lot of people. But it does look like
Oh, it does look gorgeous. Wow.
yeah. Skyrim-esque. But
There is
it's an
no
RPG.
such thing. There's Skyrim.
Yeah.
And then there be all other RPG games. All right. I love Skyrim. I really do. I thoroughly enjoyed it. This looks fantastic, dude. I've never even heard of it. So it's kind of MMO-ish?
Yeah, that's what they said. And it does look like to be a turn off for a lot of people because of that.
All right. Yeah, if it's an MMO, I probably won't play it. I just don't have time to dedicate to an MMO and all the other awesome stuff that there is.
But it does look really good.
Yeah, it does. That's cool. All right. So Chrono Odyssey, take a look, boys and girls, and the millions watching. Take a look. That's actually good.
All right.
Do you have any other news?
No, that's it for me.
All right. If you have an Xbox Series X or S, there's a thing called dynamic backgrounds. And this is something that needs to really explode on Xbox, meaning there needs to be so much more dynamic backgrounds. And they release them. They're free. I'm totally cool with paying for them. For my PS4 and my PS5, I have the Journey one, and it plays the music from Journey. It is incredible. It's gorgeous. Well, Xbox now is starting to get more. They have a Ghostwire Tokyo one. They do have a Redfall one. They have a Star Wars, the Star Wars Jedi Survivor one that I've not put on because every time I read the story, I'm like, okay, I got to do that when I'm home, or I got to do that like right now. I want to put it on, but I'm doing a podcast, so I can't, and then I'll forget. Blah blah blah. So the dynamic backgrounds are really cool. They are having, and it is rolling out a new dashboard. The dashboard is looking PS5-ish, which is very good. Okay. You get to see most of your dynamic background now, which is perfect, as opposed to you have your background, dynamic or not, and it's just filled with stuff. So you don't get to see much of it. There was a dynamic background that I was like, okay, it's the moon, it's dark, it looks cool, but you don't get to see it because it has all of your little panels all over the place. So the new background dashboard is coming out soon. People are getting it with part of the program, which I'm supposed to be part of, but I just didn't get it, I guess. And it looks phenomenal. So I'm very excited. And that's what I want. I want that. I'd like to have the background music for stuff too while I'm on my just homepage. That's it, just your homepage. Some tunes. I think that would be really cool and fantastic. So, have you seen any of the dynamic backgrounds, Lee? Like, what do you have for your background?
I just have the to be honest, I don't even remember. It's like a standard sort of just background, I guess.
Okay.
But when I've seen when you're on your like menu and everything, it doesn't look the same as mine.
No.
Like no, and I want it to look more like yours,
Really?
but yeah, because I think like your layout is just different.
It
Um,
shouldn't be though. You need to take a picture and send it to me. I got a hole in my shirt and it's bugging the crap out of me. I didn't even
uh,
notice until now. Look at this. But you know what? I
James
won't
would
change it. Yeah, James would drive. This would drive James crazy. I won't change it today. I'll still wear this shirt all day uptown and stuff. But downtown.
um, but yeah, I'll see if I can send a photo to you,
Yeah, do it
or
up.
like a screenshot.
So,
Um,
oh yeah, keep going.
because it just feels like it's so like there just wouldn't be any space for a background because
Right,
everything is filled up with the tiles.
right.
Um, and it's yeah, I think a
So,
dynamic background would be good.
so dynamic backgrounds are accessible right now. I don't know how close you are to your Xbox. Also, pro tip: if you unlock achievements, the majority of games have a screenshot to go along with the your points unlocked, whatever. Uh, you can take those screenshots and have it as a background. I don't know if you knew that part or not, but yeah. So if there's a cool game you're playing, you're like, "Ooh, I love that! Look at that that 10 gamer score I just unlocked, whatever." With that picture, you can apply that to a background. It's really cool. So do it up. Look at that. You held back a yawn pretty darn good there, Lee. Good stuff. And
And you pointed it out.
I certainly did. It's so funny. It was just so noticeable. It was awesome. All right. So there's no other news. The new background space is being unveiled, which is fantastic. Just as a heads up, where Lee and I get most of our news, it's just because it's a really good website. It's dedicated. This one is dedicated just to Xbox. So if you're into Xbox news, I'll put the link in the chat. It's called Pure Xbox. I haven't come across anything that's controversy or like, I don't know about that. They just really, so far, stick to the news. I've been using this for a year or so, this website. They also have a dedicated Sony. They have a dedicated Nintendo one as well. So it's up to you guys if you would be interested. But Pure Xbox, really good site. You can sign up to your account. You can have conversations. They actually stop flaming messages, and they have no issues getting rid of people who are just being idiots, I guess, online, which is cool. And we kind of need more about that. So let's jump into our main topic. All right. I didn't want a lot of news today, and just so we could take the time. It's only 9:47. We've been live for 42 minutes, and I just wanted to take the time, talk about Redfall, talk about Xbox, talk about the future and how it looks. I know people are worried, all of that other stuff. So we're just going to chat and we're going to have a good time. Those of you, I know we don't really interact with the chat during a podcast. So those of you that are like, oh, Paul didn't say hi to me, don't take that as an offense. I know I always do. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. For the majority of the time, I try to stay away from conversations on during the podcast because I just run my mouth constantly anyways. And so, like right there, Epic Zombie Killer. You don't have to tell me that. You told me 3 times that you're an Xbox fan, and I see it. I just can't carry on a conversation with you about Xbox. So don't take offense, all right, dude. That's it. I just during a podcast I talk so much I just can't take the time to interact with chat for the most part. But come to a live stream, I'm gonna chat with you. All right, Redfall Lee. I dedicated 2 streams to Redfall. I dedicated 2
And
full streams.
I watched part of both of them. Like
Okay.
I didn't watch them all the way through, but
Yeah.
when I got a chance, I did see some of them.
And so I was super excited. James and I, and well, you as well. As soon as this trailer dropped last year, we're playing this on stream. All of us are getting together. We're playing Redfall. We're gonna have a wonderful time and a good time. And there was even leading up, they're like 30 frames per second. I'm like, I don't care. I just want the gameplay to be good. It does not matter to me. I want good gameplay. And we talked about this last week. Redfall was our topic last week before the release because people are freaking out. 30 frames per second is 2023. We need to talk about expectations. This is what we're going to be doing, all right? Talking about expectations of what we want as well in a 2023 ecosystem of PS5, Xbox, Nintendo. Well, not Nintendo because their system. But anyways, But we can mention that this Friday is Tears of the Kingdom, and I guarantee that's probably going to win Game of the Year. It depending.
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah. Yes, depending on Starfield, the way Tears of the Kingdom man is, it's going to be Game of the Year. I'm just saying.
I just think Nintendo's fallen off so much that
To
maybe this isn't enough.
for us because we've kind of moved away from Nintendo, and we're into
Probably.
more of a more mature sort of, more mature sort of game. Yeah. All right, hold on. I'll get off on a tangent about Nintendo because I love Nintendo. You all know it. I'm a huge Nintendo fan, and I kind of give them so much leeway, and so much understanding
Maybe
and care. I really do.
maybe more than you should.
Yeah, well, that's a fault. If I have a gaming fault, it would be my love for Nintendo and the it's okay, little buddy. It's okay. Just because I grew up hardcore Nintendo from the very first NES all the way up to, we'll say, the N64 was the last Nintendo system I was insanely passionate about. And then loved the GameCube, and then Nintendo Wii, the Switch. Not the Switch, sorry, the Switch is amazing, but the Wii U, that failed. But anyways, I'm going off on a Nintendo tangent. So here we go, Redfall. Lee, before I say my hour's worth of Redfall stuff, tell me do you played it? Did you play it?
Yeah, like an hour or two of it.
Okay,
Um,
so break it down. You played solo, I assume.
yeah, I
Okay,
did.
so give me a solo perspective, because me, James, and Isaiah, my oldest kid, the three of us played it together.
Yeah. I got into it. It's the first thing that I noticed was the was like the sensitivity, and that it didn't feel right. I was like, I don't get like nausea from games or anything, but it sort of felt that if I didn't change this setting, it would be the case, and it's just how quickly
Yeah.
like the camera moved or something.
You have motion, you
So
must still have motion blur on as well.
yeah, I had to turn that off as well.
Right.
But so that was the first thing getting into it. And then the second thing is like how like oddly empty it felt. Like there wasn't like it was just plain surfaces. There wasn't any sort of proper detail and things.
Yeah, with a
Um,
small map too. With a
yeah.
very small map.
And then you go down, and then you go you get outside the ship, and you sort of find that the water is like it's meant to look like that in a sense,
Right.
but it just doesn't. But it still doesn't look right. Where it just looks remarkably fake.
So
Um,
yeah, okay, we'll go back and forth here. So with the sorry, Steph's dad's here now, so Ella's gonna bark for a bit because she's excited. So it I kind of gave it, Bebo, what's up, buddy? I kind of gave the impression, like, for me, I put the blinders on for a bit because I was like, all
mm,
right, this is Fortnite graphics, kind of Fortnite graphics.
mm,
There's Mark. All right.
oh,
Yeah, so I kind of did so this is kind of Fortnite graphics, so I kind of left it. So all right, keep going.
yeah, but it's like I get that it's like Fortnite that you could have kind of Fortnite graphics in a way, but it really has to be pushed
Hey, Mark.
for
Hey guys, can
um
you hear me?
Yep.
yeah. But it really has to be like pushed for something, I guess, better, because that's what they were going for with the trailers. That
Right.
the trailers looked really
Wasn't
good.
that
Uh,
gameplay trailer they showed last year was fantastic. So one
yeah,
sec, Lee.
exactly.
Mark, have you played Redfall?
No, I have not.
Okay, no, that's cool. Lee's just giving his first impressions here right now.
So I went back into the boat because I hadn't like properly searched it, I guess, and then and I sort of thought, okay, well, I'll test something out. I'll shoot one of the corpses with the gun, and then I shot it in the head, and it looked like I shot concrete because of what the impact looked like.
Right.
It felt very unpolished,
Right.
um, and and already I was like, okay, this is going to be a tough ride for me. I got out, started started like shooting the AI, of which they were as dumb could be. Um, the looting I felt was, I had to go out of my way to find stuff, and I couldn't, I didn't quite. Something felt off about the looting, and I couldn't quite place it, to be
So yeah,
honest.
for looting though, for me it wasn't bad. The thing I would have loved to have seen is when you kill the cult members, they drop their guns and stuff. The guns disappear. I
Yeah,
should have been
that
able to
yeah,
pick that stuff up. That's
yeah,
proper looting, but whatever.
like assault rifles and
Yeah, but
everything.
there's tons of
And
weapons though, man. Like I'm not sure if you probably didn't get, since you said you only played like an hour or so. That like what you played for a couple hours, you had a crap load of guns, like tons of guns.
right.
It was crazy.
And how many times did you have to stab them with your shotgun?
So only once to do the final kill, which I don't know why they chose to do that, but they did. It and oh my gosh, we made fun of that. So all right, keep going, Lee.
And but then you make it to like the house where there are people inside, and you talk. You have to go back and forth to talk to these different people, and it just felt so wooden. Like it just
Right.
there
Yeah.
wasn't any life to it.
No, yeah, perfect assessment, Lee. And that's your opinion, and that's 100%. Um, I know people are liking it, and I know some people saying this game's awesome, and truth be told, it's not. If the head of Xbox is saying I'm disappointed, we put out not a good game. You can't go saying how it's awesome to you, but you do have to. I had fun, okay? I had fun playing with Isaiah and James, but we were making fun of
But
all of the stuff.
yeah, and it's because you were playing with
Right.
Isaiah and James.
Yeah, by myself I would have been like, "No."
Yeah, I mean, obviously James wasn't like a fan of it, particularly with the achievements. But what's Isaiah's thought of
He,
it,
he
like
didn't like it at
overall?
all. And so Isaiah's 22. He's a hardcore gamer, and when I say hardcore, that's what he does. He plays video games all the time, and he has for most of his life because I have gamer kids, and so he could be on this podcast and fill you in, and everything about it. Like he's that smart. He would be awesome to have on the podcast. I'm just saying, Isaiah. But yeah, so I have a lot of extra stuff on there. Mark, did you get to watch any of the Redfall stuff or our streams or anything like that?
Yeah, I've seen. I was watching somebody stream it the other day, and one thing I noticed instantly is all the graphics. It, they were horrible. They look glitchy. I know Xbox. They said they predicted the game to score about 10 points higher on the game reviews.
Right.
Well, it's already like a 50 something. So were were they expecting like a 60 something? So it's like they knew that this game was terrible and yet they still went through with it. Almost reminds me of Battlefield when that came out.
So I I've heard that theory as well, Mark, and I have I have the blinders on about that theory. And if I was to take it off, take my blinders off, I would say, Mark, you're 100% right. They knew, and they just put it out like that. I just don't want to believe it. as,
I don't either.
as stupid as I am right now, I don't want to believe that all the execs are like, you know what, we played this. It's not good. It has tons of issues, but we should just put it out anyways. I don't want to believe that.
I mean, I don't either, and I know PlayStation. One thing I do give them credit for is that when they release something that's made by them, it's usually a quality game.
Right.
God of War and any of the Spider-Man games, those are all fantastic. Xbox with this one has now got people afraid of of what's it called, Starfield.
Oh,
That's going to be out
we're
in a
going to
couple
talk
of
about
months.
Starfield. Yeah, I think it's September. Starfield's being released, and
Correct.
yeah,
Yeah, September 6th.
September 6th. Okay, so oh my gosh, I'm just so baffled. All right, I put this out to Gaming Grandpa on Twitter. All right, I had put a constructive feedback tweet about Redfall, and all I said was I dedicated 2 streams to Redfall, and I can't do anymore. Overall, it's a bad game, and for me to hate on or be negative about something Xbox, it's pretty big. Okay, it has to be bad for me to actually say something negative. I said we had high hopes for this. I'm glad I didn't have to pay for it. And
Yeah.
so Gaming Grandpa, he just said, at least you tried it, mate. I've read so many bad reviews, even though it is on Game Pass. I don't think I'll bother downloading it. So, me being the person I am, the Xbox fanboy, I said, it is worth a try to play with others. Graphically, it's good in a couple places and really bad in others. AI is terrible. A lot of misses on gaming concepts. Gunplay and melee is not good. I was looking forward to it. Wait a year, and I bet this game is going to be great. And that's what I'm telling everybody. Wait 1 full year. And I know we shouldn't have to, okay? I know we shouldn't have to. So don't come at me with that one. I know we shouldn't have to wait another year after the game's been released to make it good. But I'm just saying, in a year, I guarantee we're going to be like, we should give Redfall a try again. And it's going to be a blast.
Hmm. I just think it's like they've put so much effort into making the trailer look great, and the trailer did look great. Like
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
that's maybe that's what all their time was spent doing, just making the trailer look good.
Yeah.
You,
Um, and then what we get is something that I'd honestly, I mean, I don't know that much, but it feels like this game could have been put on Xbox 2 console generations ago. Like I could honestly see this being a 360 game.
360 had some bangers, though.
It did,
Maybe
it did.
original Xbox.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just that's what it feels like. It's that long ago,
Yeah.
and it's like that's
So
not what it should be done now.
shooting is terrible. You can't aim down your scope and shoot. You can, but it's just it doesn't feel right. It's really clunky and slow. You have to shoot from the hip, and that's what I started doing. Uh,
Well, maybe you actually were shooting from the hip, or shooting through your forearm, or what, like maybe you weren't holding a gun at
what
all.
the boys were doing. I do have a screenshot of our gameplay, and this was I'm not sure if it was James or Isaiah's character. This was funny, and I was like, "What the heck is going on?" And they just said that their character had glitched for a moment, and so there was 3 of us playing, and we all had different characters. Their character glitched for a moment, but there was 2 of them.
Yeah.
One was frozen in time while the other one could move all around. And so I think it was Isaiah. I think he was trying to do the exact same pose. Like that stuff is it to me is forgivable. It's like, all right, glitches, whatever. But oh my gosh, there is so much to this game that it needs, I know people are saying give it a couple months. This needs a year. Another year of dedicated development. And they have a foundation for this game, and it's going to be awesome. Just give it a year.
So it's gonna be like Cyberpunk.
Exactly what Big Casino just said. And to me, Mark, I'm the same with you. Cyberpunk had a wonderful, let's say it was good on Xbox Series X when it released, but there was a lot of issues. But it was still good. And then I was like, no, I can't do this because of the whole save game breakage if you have too much resources. And I'm a resource guy in my RPGs. I want thousands of everything. And so I stopped playing. And then like a year later, or I just came back to it last year. It fixed. Wonderful. Played it from beginning to end. No issues. Great game. Great game. You're right.
But
Uh,
this release is going to be what everyone remembers.
Right.
Like
Yes.
if you think on the amount of people who gave up on Cyberpunk, who gave up on Battlefield
Yep.
2042, who gave up on Star Wars Battlefront 2,
Jerks.
because they because who gave up on No Man's Sky and won't revisit it because the release of all of those games was not good, because it will be for different reasons for each of them,
Sure.
but
But
it's what people remember.
No Man's Sky's amazing now.
Oh,
Star Wars
sure.
Battlefront 2, once they got rid of the loot boxes, is incredible.
Oh,
Battlefield
sure.
2042 now is amazing. It feels like a proper Battlefield game. So,
But it's too late.
is it
Like
our
for
fault as gamers? Is this our fault as gamers? That we whine
um
and sook when they're like, "Oh, I need 3 more months. Oh, I hate this. They can't release a game on time," because that's what I'm hearing. Xbox can't release a game on time. Well, shut up. Stop it.
Mm.
They so what? I want a game come out the box that's perfect. I want that 10 out of 10 right out the box.
I think it's like it's a bit of both, where it's like, well, they give us a date and we're putting pressure on them to fulfill that.
Yep.
Um, but on the flip side, they're the ones that have given themselves the date to put this out.
Okay.
So they're setting themselves that target. Um, and and it's all that big push, and we're putting pressure on them to get it done. And I'm sure there's pressure on their side, the higher ups telling them to get it done. And maybe it's
Right.
more of like, well, if they just set a more realistic time frame, um, and instead of putting an initial date and then having to stick with it, and like, even though it's a very short time period, like it's then like they should take a step back and just think, okay, instead of having to put it out on this day and then delay, when we just set a date further in the future, and then work towards that,
Okay.
instead.
Mark,
Uh,
what about
I
you?
think it's just pressure on both sides.
Okay. Mark, what about you?
Well, I think some game developers, when it comes to those dates, is that you know s- don't j- don't just put out a date, say spring 2024 or something like that. You could just say 2024, and that's good enough for me.
Yep.
Have the game finished, ready, complete 90 days before you're ready to launch. Then you put out the date and everything, and it'll give people plenty of time. I think 90 days is plenty of time, but leave yourself that 90-day window to
Right.
just in case something does go wrong. You don't have to tell us winter 2024 or anything like that, because that's just putting more pressure on you. And just you can give somebody a general year, and that's fine with me. Like Rockstar with Red Dead Redemption 2, that got delayed 2 or 3 times, and they pushed it back even further. And when that came out, there was no problems, no
Yeah,
issues
yeah,
or
exactly.
complaints about it. And I'm sure GTA 6 is going to be the same issue. And you got Starfield, which you say you're talk about later. You know, you got the date almost already set in there. So what are you going to do? Is the game fully ready at this point in time, or are you just going to release crap?
Mark,
Because
no, no, it's ready. I have to have Starfield ready. Starfield has to be 100% ready.
but imagine if it bombs like Redfall. It's going to leave a real bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. But I mean, I can't say anything bad about Xbox One bit because they've given so much. So you're going to have a hiccup here and there that's not going to please everybody. But they do so much good for us. We can't really complain,
All right.
honestly.
So it's funny to say, I was lying awake last night thinking, I'm in bed lying awake thinking about Xbox, this podcast, and questions. It's funny because gaming is just a huge part of my life. And so I think about it all the time. What brand new IP has Sony put out in this generation of PS5?
Hmm. Don't know.
So, okay, so what sequels has Sony put out in this gen?
What sequels?
So God of War, right, on
God of
PS5.
War, Spider-Man.
Well, they haven't done it yet, but they are doing it. But that's I think people just the fanboys of Sony are just so crazy that they don't see that Sony in the 2+ years now PS5 there has not been a AAA new IP. But Xbox just did it. Yes, it's not a great game. Give it a year, and I bet you Redfall is going to be awesome in a year, and everyone will revisit it. But they did it. They're like, okay, this is something. This is awesome. The concept got us all excited. Redfall, 4-player action killing zombie or vampires. This is going to be great. It just didn't hit the mark, but we have a new IP now, which is fantastic. So, Starfield comes out in 5 months. Where are we? May, June, July, August, September. 4 months. Starfield's supposed to be out. Brand new IP. But what does Sony have coming out that's brand new IP? I don't even know if they've announced anything. So
No.
Xbox is trying. They're not giving us, and I'm sure they are giving us part 2, part 3 of stuff in the future. And when this showcase happens, I think we're all going to be excited. I'm going to sell you guys on this showcase. They're going to show us the Smurfs or something. I'm going to be like, oh, this is going to be the best Smurfs game ever. I can't wait, boys. Just because it's Xbox doing it, right? But I'm just saying, Xbox got up to plate. They purchased the Arcane Studios, whatever. They're like, this is going to be our AAA title. We're excited for it. And we're going to support you in the sense. It looks like they missed the whole support aspect. I'm going to read you guys here a couple things. Well, they're not little. But Xbox, they're like, we're doing Redfall. This is a new IP. This is going to be something great. And it will be in a year from now. But I'm just saying, what new IP has Sony put out?
That's a good question, but I guess I what nobody's gonna want a new IP if the new IPs are bad.
We all want new IPs. That's what we need. And even in the entertainment world in general, like movies, we're tired of seeing sequels. But we'll go see sequels because that's all we're getting. We want something new, like it's crazy. Like
Sequels,
Sure.
superheroes.
Yeah, look at this new movie that's out right now, Sisu. I bet you that's an amazing freaking movie. But I don't know if you guys seen the trailer for Sisu. That just looks crazy awesome. But yeah, this is what I'm saying is Xbox is putting themselves out there, but all the big games in every other ecosystem are second parts or third or fourth or fifth parts of an IP that already exists because it works. It's already established themselves. But Xbox is like, we're going to back Redfall 100%. It's a new IP. But no one else is doing this new IP stuff right now except for Xbox that we know of. And I think that is an amazing thing. And this is why I think Xbox is doing stuff right now. They've fixed all of the Xbox One done Matrix stuff. They've moved past that. They've gone past that. We're on Xbox Series X, Series S. Things are going to be awesome. I'm looking at an overall picture. That's why I say in the current state right now that Redfall is, one, Starfield has to be great for my sake. And I'm not saying for Xbox sake. I'm saying for my sake.
You won't die on that hill.
I will. It has to be great. Either way, let's say Starfield. So, disclaimer, it is a Bethesda game, and it will have the Skyrim and Oblivion issues when it first releases, okay? It will have that because millions of us are going to be playing Starfield. We're going to do stupid stuff because, like a game tester did not try. We're just going to do it. Like, people complained about Skyrim. I got stuck in the mountains. Well, what were you doing? Well, I just kept jumping on top of rocks to see how high I could get so I don't have to walk all the way around. Well, of course you got stuck, idiot. Come on. Who wants to really focus? But I was one of the ones that did that. I also wanted to climb up over rocks and go down. I didn't want to circle around, but that's not how it was meant to be played, but we were going to do it anyways. So expect that, but Starfield needs to be great for me, for my peace of mind. But I'm still going in. Starfield's going to be 10 out of 10. It's going to be what we wanted from No Man's Sky. It's going to be brilliant.
It's not a forgiving for Redfall though. How they push it so hard, and then with trailers so phenomenal,
Right.
to the point where we're gonna try and convince Pete to do Redfall, like with us as like a team of 4, and then we're just gonna wreck the place with with these 4 amazing characters in this amazing setting,
Right.
but none of that exists. The trailer is for a different game. It's
Sure.
not, and that game doesn't exist. And
You're so harsh.
and you can and you can say that game doesn't exist yet, and it will come out in like a year.
It will. A year that game will exist, Lee.
But that's a year too late.
Nope.
It's it's like people don't remember the delays as much as they remember the bad releases, and
True.
that bad and a bad release like this is just it's not working.
Lee, that's quotable. I'm just saying that's quotable right now. Lee Everett, 2023. People will not remember the delays like they do the bad releases. That's profound, we'll say.
Yeah, it's just I never thought I'd be catfished by a game.
Like, oh, you're so harsh.
Brutal.
But
gracious.
But that's what it is. It's like they've hyped me up to enjoy this game so much.
Did they hype you up or did me? Did I do
both?
Yeah, a bit of both for sure.
But it's like the prospect of playing it with you guys is what hyped it up as well. Like but and that's part of what was going to be part of the game. And it's like you James and Isaiah have not essentially enjoyed the game. You've enjoyed your time together making fun of the game.
We definitely did make fun of the game.
So it's like it's the game isn't good. It's just it and you can say that it's going to be good in a year. It's just it's not good now, and they said it was going to be now.
The foundation is there, though, Lee. I'm just saying. All right, hold on, Mark. I want you guys to here's something about Xbox's leader, Phil Spencer, and this is part of the reason why I love this guy too. So Phil Spencer says there's nothing that's more difficult for me than disappointing the Xbox community. I've been part of it for a long time. I obviously work on Xbox as head of the business. I have a lot of friends, get a lot of feedback, and just to kind of watch the community lose confidence, be disappointed. I'm disappointed. I'm upset with myself. So Phil didn't run. He didn't hide behind the execs. He knew he was trending, and I think he still is trending, being blown up by the Sony fanboys and everybody else within their agenda. He went on a kind of fun. It's called Kind of Funny Xcast. I watched it yesterday. Phil was legit and genuine with everything he said, and Phil goes on to reiterate the critical response was not that what we wanted, and that the team is disappointed by the launch reception of Redfall. He goes, I think back to the announcement of 60 frames per second. Then we weren't shipping 60 frames per second, and that was kind of our punch in the chin, rightfully, a couple weeks ago. And then seeing the game come out at a critical response was not what we wanted. It's disappointing. So kind of pick myself up. What can we learn? How can we get better? And one of the things is they purchased Arcane Studios in the middle of their development process or beginning or whatever. And so they didn't have time to be pulled into the Xbox ecosystem. So on a positive tip from there, with the demise of Redfall, which will be good in a year, it allows them to create their infrastructure or or arrange their infrastructure for these new companies coming into the Xbox ecosystem on how they can manage these other third-party developers or studios and just say, "Hey, you're part of Xbox now. This is what we want. This is what we have. How can we help you and where are you at?" So whenever you purchase a new studio or IP or whatever, and I'm talking like I've done this before, but it's just common sense to me, is where are you at? Give me a breakdown of everything. Show us the game. Show us what you got. What are your challenges, and how can we get you to the point? Does this date look realistic? Does this time frame look realistic? Everything should have been. If you got a game on development, you come into an ecosystem of PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox, whatever. If you want to release this game, you need to just swoop it all in. You have people to do it. Swoop it all, pull them in, snuggle them in close, and nurse this baby to where it should be. Easily. Phil took responsibility for all that. And because of Redfall's downfall, I guess, or crappy release, I'm positive this is a great thing for Xbox, and it's going to be going forward. We're going to start seeing some amazing things. Games right out the box that are phenomenal. Oh, look at this. I'm such a positive dude for Xbox. I just love it. Honestly.
Yeah, it's probably like, something that they needed to know, that it's like, like you're saying, that it's not, that what they've done now is not acceptable, and it's like I think at this point they just needed to be told that,
Yeah.
so that they can take a step back, look at what they're doing, and improve for the future. But it's annoying that it's even gotten to this point in the first place.
I know, but Mark, did you play Hi-Fi Rush?
No, I didn't play that one.
You need to play Hi-Fi
should.
Rush. I'm wondering if the success of Hi-Fi Rush was how Redfall was able to push through.
Is that Hi-Fi
Maybe.
Rush?
Hi-Fi Rush, it's
Yeah.
on Game Pass. It was one that, so I always hype up Xbox events. And so last year I was like, all right, we're live streaming this, we're reacting, we're having a good time. They mentioned Hi-Fi Rush. I was like, oh, this looks all right. Free on Game Pass right now. And I was like, all right. And so we played it. It was like, this is friggin' awesome. So I wonder if the success of Hi-Fi Rush and the awesomeness was how Redfall was able to be released and pushed out and kind of underneath the standard, Xbox standard.
Do you think Xbox has too many eggs in one basket at this point in time, where they are a video game console company? They have to manage the Xbox Game Pass. Now they got all these studios and Activision now that they are trying to oversee as well. Where Phil Spencer, at least he's owning up to the problem and everything. But truthfully, how much can one man really do? Because I guarantee you, Phil Spencer's schedule is packed, because he's dealing with all the Activision stuff right now, which is a major deal. He's fighting against the European
Yeah, the CMA in Europe.
CM. Yes, he's fighting with all that right now. You got Jim Ryan crying all over the media and stuff like that.
Lion crying Jim Ryan. Yep.
Which is, I mean, he looks terrible on his own. But I mean, Xbox has so much stuff going on right now. Do you think Phil Spencer needs a better team around him to oversee all these other studios and try to figure out what's going on? Because I guarantee you, he probably didn't know it was going to be like that. There's no way he would have known that.
So,
well,
awesome question, Mark. Really is. I don't know Phil's management style. It's a miss that I'm not working for Xbox. So we'll hold that against Phil for right now, because I would love to work for Xbox. So I don't know his management style, but you have people, you should. There's a hierarchy, of course. You got Phil, and then it branches out, and then it branches out and branches out, and it keeps going. If that is the case, if he is a micromanagement sort of manager, then yes, too many eggs or whatever. He's spread out way too far. If he's
So many
not,
cooks spoil the broth.
what's that?
Too many cooks spoil the broth, or
Too
something
many
like
cooks
that.
spoil the broth. I've never heard that. You need to have trusted members overseeing and overlooking, and there needs to be conference calls. There needs to be gaming updates there. And I know he's probably super bum busy. Plus, he's a gamer. He plays video games. You can see it. He plays all the time, which is fantastic. I was watching a Larry Herb interview. I was listening. Sorry, it was Larry Herb and Phil Spencer, and who was it? Phil Spencer and the dude from Destiny were playing together while they were answering questions. They're playing Destiny together, which I thought was really cool. Like he's a gamer, so that's fantastic. He knows this in and out. He knows what to do. I Mark, what you went back to when you first started, as if did they know and just pushed it out anyways. I think that is the ultimate. I think that's the ultimate thing, and this backfired. If that's the case, they backfired, and they're being held to task right now, which really sucks. I don't think when you bring in Activision Blizzard, what are we getting with that? There's tons of stuff with Activision Blizzard. Plus, you've got major games in Activision Blizzard. So that's going to happen, all right? That's happening. The CMA is going to cave. The Xbox just hired a lawyer that destroys the CMA in the UK. They just hired him, so he's going to go and he's going to rip apart the UK CMA, and the deal's going to happen. It has to happen. It should happen. It's not going to destroy Sony. Jim Ryan, he can do his whole, all we have is Call of Duty, not my other amazing IPs. So yeah, that's all nonsense. But this has to happen for Xbox. But we're getting there. I know we're lagging. I know there's issues, especially with Redfall. But this is a good thing. Redfall failing the way it has and the world blowing up right now is a good thing. We just need the people to sit back for a second, get some common sense, eat some common sense cereal or something, allow it to settle in, and stop looking at YouTubers, Twitter, news feeds, and just going along with the latest trend to hate on Xbox, hate on Phil. He should retire and all. No, stop it.
So I got a question for you. They have a new Call of Duty coming out this year. So if this Call of Duty bombs, are they going to blame Activision or are they going to start blaming Xbox now?
So
don't blame Xbox.
They can't rate yet because Xbox doesn't own them. And when Call of Duty releases, it won't be like that at all. So
they'll find a way to spin it so that it'll be Xbox's fault.
And that's my point. Somebody, you're gonna have the PlayStation fanboys. Oh, it's an Xbox game now, and look at it. It's terrible. It's trash. And to be fair, Call of Duty, probably every other one is terrible.
Yep.
So are they gonna start blaming Xbox in the future now?
So I want to read this, and this as earlier I was talking about how I'm part of Xbox Series X/S Group Global. And I joined it so I could be part of like-minded people. So this clown comes out 7 hours ago. He says Phil Spencer needs to either resign or be fired as CEO, and any holdovers from the Don Matrick era needs to go as well. Bring back Peter Moore, who lied to us. Peter Moore era was their best years with the Xbox 360. The Xbox brand is perfectly capable of taking down PlayStation like they did with the 360. The brand just has been very poorly managed. It's this incompetent, careless, and nonchalant leadership that left the Xbox brand floundering. It's the lack of innovation, lack of exclusive games, and games that don't run properly that's causing them to fall behind PlayStation and Nintendo. Management doesn't care, and it shows, and the sales reflect that. The QA department at Xbox needs to kick in the butt. There's no QA testing happening, and I mean the controllers still use AA batteries. It's just cheapness and carelessness. They couldn't spend a little extra money and ship with consoles with a better controller. So this dude is listening to all of the nonsense that's out there and just went on this tangent of misinformation, stupidity, and it just kills me that people are this dumb. it blows my mind that they would just go on to these epic rants. They think they're going to change the world. Oh, this YouTuber and this YouTuber and this YouTuber and this Twitter dude is saying all this. This is exactly how I feel. I see it. And then they just go on and spread all of that nonsense.
So he had a couple points. The Xbox 360 was the closest that Xbox has been to beating PlayStation
Yep.
as far as console wars. Xbox One had a lot of issues when it first came out, but it got better over time. Xbox Series X, unfortunately, is still the same exact controller.
I love that
They
controller though.
I do too, but I do agree that it should be a chargeable one at this point in time. Maybe some slight upgrades there. But the fact that he would say that that Nintendo like cares more than Xbox is insane because Nintendo don't give. I was about to say a cuss. Nintendo don't care one
Yeah.
bit about their community at
No.
all with all the stuff that they pull off. So I don't want to hear that one.
No, it is mind blowing. So, I, to I guess to sum it up, um, Xbox is we will take this on the chin. It's Phil Spencer has taken full responsibility. He's taken it all, and that is what a leader should do. I think that's fantastic. And he's not hiding. He's out in the open for everybody to aim their guns, aim their pistols at him, and so they can pull the trigger. If I look right now on Twitter, Phil Spencer is trending with Mike Pence. It, it's it is
That's a funny person to trend with.
it's so ridiculous.
Why the
It's
hell is Mike Pence trending?
I
um, but I wish people would cut Xbox some slack. Because I've had the Nintendo, what's it called? Nintendo Online expansion pack. That's terrible. The PlayStation one, I don't even know why I'm still paying for that because they had all that hype about their monthly Game Pass thing being something great, and there's probably only 50 games on there.
oh
And
wow,
those
okay.
out of those 50 games, at least 45 of them, came out 10 years ago. They're
Right.
horrible. It's no different than what the other the other PlayStation monthly subscription was. But you look at the Xbox Game Pass, you got Redfall right here. That's a brand new game.
Mm.
And you go down any of the list for the Xbox Game Pass, and you're going to find
Didn't
stuff
hear you,
that
Lee.
you want to play.
Yeah. Sorry, Lee. You talked and you cut right out.
Even though it's bad, like Redfall's brand new release, even though it's bad.
Redfall in a year is going to be amazing.
Yeah, but then it won't be brand new, then, will it?
It does. Well, hey, all the other new games we've gotten on Game Pass is fantastic. You can fight about Game Pass all you want. Game Pass, there's nothing comes close to Game Pass.
No, 20
Oh,
bucks a month.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing. You got MLB the Show, the 2023 version on there, brand new for free. But if you're on PlayStation, you have to spend $70 on it,
Yeah, that's true. And if I was to
and
buy
it's a
them,
PlayStation game.
yeah, and it's a PlayStation game. That's the thing. And so what is happening right now is just you got the Xbox fanboys. They're just really they're promoting and pushing PlayStation as much as possible. What is this clown said here? At PlayStation, we get treated with respect and have quality options of great games. Then he goes on Xbox. Phil Spencer has it wrong and need to leave Xbox. He is bringing down the gaming community. Game Pass is not the answer for a quality gaming experience, he says. The problem is he is hating on one system, praising the other, and that's a system of choice. He has a right to say that, but Phil Spencer is not the one that's bringing down the gaming community. It's idiots like this who are just trashing all other ecosystems of gaming except for his own personal preference. That is what's bringing down the gaming system. We got to stop just laughing and promoting at the demise of other companies, other systems, and we need to get back to where gaming was just fantastic and awesome outside of all this social media garbage. So
Gaming has went from fun to hate.
And that's what it is. And social media is to blame for it. Lots of hate, lots of agendas. So, all right. let's finish this up with one final question, okay? And this is actually, this is an awesome question. And Lee, I'll start with you. In 2023, what are your expectations of a game when it's released? AAA, indie, it doesn't matter. What are your expectations of a game right out the box that you spend money on, regardless of Game Pass? Okay, regardless of any of that. Just let's take Game Pass out of it. We're hyped for Redfall. We're hyped for Hi-Fi Rush. We're hyped for GTA 6, Red Dead Redemption 3 if it ever comes out. We're excited for it. What are your expectations? Starfield in September. What are your expectations?
Well, expectations they vary depending on the on who's made it and how it's developed and everything, because for an example, King of the Arcade was just made by a few people. It's a like indie developer, all that kind of stuff. And me, you, James, all had such a good time with it.
Yep.
You know, graphically, it's not even as good as Redfall, but that's not. But that there was no intent for it to be that
Right.
way. It's a smaller game that we enjoyed, because it had that, because it meant something to us. You could tell that the person who made it had a passion and to make what they wanted to make without without having to like being subjected to any kind of scrutiny, or because there wouldn't be, because it's like that's just what that is. So
So funny, you just mentioned King of the Arcade. I just got a pop up
yeah.
from Twitter that they liked they liked our tweet about the podcast. That's funny. Go ahead.
But they so like there are different expectations when it comes to games like that,
All
as
right.
opposed to games like Redfall
So
and like AAA games.
let's not put specifics on a game. I want your expectations. Lee, you work hard for your money. You got to spend 60, 70, whatever it is in the UK. What do you expect on that?
I expect the game to work. I expect the game to deliver what it says it will deliver.
Oh.
And if because that's what they've told us that they're going to do, that's what we should get.
Okay. I'm
And
going to take
and
notes, guys. I'm going to take notes on
yeah,
this topic here because
and
I'll tweet it
if
out.
we get more than that, that's awesome. If
Okay.
but like I'd much rather have a delay over a bad game. And but a more realistic time frame would be better than both. If they but yeah, I want a game that delivers what they say it will deliver,
Okay. Okay.
because that's what they've told us, and that's what we should expect from them.
All right. So I have expect the game to work, expect the game to deliver what they promise it would deliver. Much rather have a delay over a bad game, much more realistic time frame for release. So let's say we're 4 or 5 release dates in, and they're like, we need another month, we need another 2 months. Like they've already promised these dates, but like just complications, whatever it may be. 10 years in, Dead Island 2, new dev. What do you say to another? We just need one more new time frame. What do you say to that?
I'd still rather have the time, the
Okay.
extra month than a bad game.
All right,
Because
chat.
if we get the bad game, then it just proves that all that extra time that they've already had has been for nothing. Because we've still been given a bad game.
Okay, chat. Same question to you guys. So Mark, same question to you. 2023, you spend 70. So yeah, you guys much cheaper than us. So I think with taxes for you guys, it probably comes to close to $70. What are your expectations of a game for 2023? This generation of hardcore consoles, that 12 teraflops, whatever. What are your expectations for these games?
Well, if we're not doing game company exclusive, because if you're asking me like Madden or NBA 2K, you're going to get the same
Yep.
glitches, the same issues year after year. It's copy and paste. The only thing that changes the player ratings, and that's it, and the soundtrack. But if you're talking about just a general game itself, I want it to, whatever I see on the advertisement, the commercial, the game trailers, that's exactly what I want to see in the game. I don't want to be lied to. I don't want to be fooled. When the game comes out, if there's some issues, then I expect it to be handled and fixed right away. At this point in time, with as far as technology as and all the new graphics and Unreal engines and stuff like that, with all the designs and stuff, I expect there to be some issues here and there.
Sure, yeah.
It's okay, but I expect it to be fixed right away. I don't expect anybody to send out a game with broken servers, just where you can't even play the game at all, like Battlefield. I just expect the game to come as advertised. That's all I ask. If there's problems, at least work on them, but don't just leave the community just sitting there hanging.
So you'll buy the new Call of Duty this year, right?
Oh, absolutely, every year.
What do you expect from Call of Duty this year? Do you play single player at all?
Yes, I play the single player and multiplayer. I go through everything because it's important because I'm a heavy Warzone player.
Right.
So you always want to level up those weapons as fast as possible so you keep the edge on other competitors.
Okay. Well,
Um, but I do expect this year's Call of Duty. I don't expect it to be a great one given the track record of Call of Duty. It's usually one out of every three. And it's usually Infinity Ward is always the best one, which is the Modern Warfare. This last one was fantastic for me. The next one, I'm not sure who's in charge of that one, but I mean, we'll see what happens with it.
okay.
And to touch on a little bit what Marcus said about the trailer and that it should, like, yeah, everything in the trailer should be in the game. Like there's the Redfall official launch trailer that I just saw yesterday, and it came out 9 days ago, and it says at the bottom, and like it's the case for every game really. Not all images appear in game, and it's like, and that's the case for any kind of game for a trailer. And I see it, and I see it at the bottom, and I just think, no kidding. Um,
Yeah.
No.
because even that launch trailer looks really good, and I was watching it yesterday thinking, oh, should I give it Redfall another shot? And then I just remembered me actually playing it and
No,
thought,
no,
no.
a year. Give it a year. Redfall, like honestly, 6 months. I can't see 6 months fixing that game, but a year. Give that game a year. Redfall's going to be amazing, and so we're all going to revisit it, and we'll all look back and like, oh, I remember when it was released like this. Well, I'll be that grandpa on with their rocking chair on the deck.
Yeah, but if it was delayed, we from the start, we wouldn't be remembering those delays as much, because
So
they'd just be like a flickering memory as opposed to an actual
here's
bad game
something though.
release.
Here's something. I just want, Lightsy just said, I think at this point, the games that don't have a release date are more likely going to be released with less bugs than games with the release date that keeps getting pushed. True. Absolutely true. But I want to say this is, oh crap, I lost it. This was really good too. This was actually really good. I was going to say, and I totally lost it. That's all good. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, we'll see what happens with Redfall in a year. I think that's going to be good. The fact that you see in trailer, you should honestly see whether it's cutscenes or in-game action. It should be in the game if you see it in a trailer,
Yeah,
hands down.
you're right. To touch on, what your question, throwing it back to you, what's your expectation from a game?
So I'm a little different. It's just because I am much older now. And so I've gone through the pretty much the entire evolution of gaming. And so my expectations in 2023 is I want a game to have awesome gameplay. That's it. Graphics, great. Graphics are Fortnite stuff, like Redfall. I was thinking, okay, this is Fortnite-ish graphics. I was fine with that. Whatever. That's your art style. The cutscenes where it was just
Fortnite has good graphics,
Fortnite
like
does now.
overall. Yeah.
Overall, yeah. And so the one of the things, and I didn't clue in. Well, I did. We made fun of it. Remember As Dusk Falls? We were playing As Dusk Falls. Those cutscenes were still frames. Why did Redfall do
Mm.
the same thing?
Yeah, yeah, you're right. And it's like the because for As Dusk Falls, it's the artistic sort of method that they had throughout the game. You know that's their approach to the whole game, where it's like you don't need the and maybe it's a little bit through to budget constraints as well, but it just shows that you don't need an amazing looking game
Right,
for it to be a good game because we all enjoyed it for the story.
right. That's
Um,
that's it. I don't need 60 frames per second. Graphics
no,
are
I mean
important. I
I
disagree,
mean
Silver Wolf.
as Dusk Falls was less than 1 frame per second. You know, it's like it's
No, it
but
wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
but, but we
So
still enjoyed it for what it was.
so here is the old man 47 from looking from the outside in, hammering at the door of the gaming community, wanting to come in and be accepted and work in the gaming community. This is what I want to do because I'm insanely passionate about it. So I get to see the entire scope because I'm not one-minded just Xbox. I do have a PS5. I do have a Nintendo Switch. I do have a gaming PC and an Xbox Series X. So I have it all. If they had said Redfall, we need a few more months, I would have been thank you. Because Star Wars Jedi Survivor, we've got Diablo, we've got Starfield, we have Dead Island 2 all releasing within like 4 months of each other. So
Yeah,
it would have
and
been okay to say, we're going to wait.
mm, and isn't there the Gollum game releasing towards the end of this month as well?
We'll see. Gollum games. I think Mark's going to be heavily disappointed with the Gollum game.
Uh, Remember, that was my game of the year prediction,
Yeah.
and that's been delayed quite a few times. So, and I was just looking that up. As a matter of fact, it's supposed to be released this month, but they don't have a day or anything picked out, and we're already what's today, the
May
7th of
7th.
May,
Yeah.
and I got a feeling it probably might get delayed again, but that might be a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is fine. Which is fine. So,
I'm gonna laugh as if it becomes game of the year.
hey, and that would be amazing. The problem, oh, yeah, that's the other thing. Tears of the Kingdom comes out next week. The new Legend of Zelda game, which everybody almost is going to be playing Tears of the Kingdom. That's going to be game of the year easily. It's
Oh yeah.
just it's so you've got so the end of in April, so the end of April, May, June, and July, August, September. So within the 5 month period, we've already had amazing games come out this year. And so for the next 5 months, it's going to be crazy as well. We're all going to be playing these AAA huge games that take time to play. So Redfall being pushed would have been very acceptable. Yeah, we would have had the Xbox can't fulfill a release date. Who cares about that nonsense? It's stupid. So just on a final note, so Silver Nightwolf, when I say graphics, I love graphics. Graphics are great. You could have a beautiful game and a garbage gameplay. The game is garbage, hands down. But if you have great gameplay, garbage graphics, the game is still great. It's all about gameplay.
Mm,
It will
yeah,
always be about gameplay. It's literally in the name. Games.
yeah, you're right. But and it's like with Redfall again. No, with As Dusk Falls again. It's like we the it didn't need the insane graphics, like because that's not what the game was about.
Game is a blast.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Powerful,
and
story
no,
driven.
but you could, but there are like initial standpoints where it's like you were looking at the trailer for As Dusk Falls, and that and how it looked was an immediate turn off. But the for you because you just didn't like how it looked, but
Right.
the but from what we saw of the trailer, it delivered from what it said in the trailer because that's what we got, and
So
that's what we expected from it,
Big Casino
and
just put up
we
a
got more than that.
Big Casino just put up a game called Wrestle Quest, and it's taking the old school WWF dudes. It looks like, and it's like an RPG, but the graphic is 8-bit style, which actually interests me greatly. Oh my gosh, Big Casino, what did you have to do this for, dude? Oh, it's coming out on Xbox and stuff? Crap, I gotta see it. I'd probably play that, to be honest. All right, let's sum it up, guys. I spoke so much. I was very lengthy today. I do apologize. Thank you for those that hung around and chatted and endured me on my soapbox, giving much leeway to Xbox. Everything's gonna be fine, guys. I'm telling you right now. I'm looking forward to the showcase. I'm looking forward to Starfield. Starfield has to be great. 10 out of 10. Yeah. And I think it's going. I'm going in with the mindset, regardless of Redfall, Starfield's going to be brilliant, and it's
Oh,
going to be the
sure.
game we've wanted, the space epic adventure. Get to see hundreds of planets or whatever, and I'm just excited to see what's happening.
Is it single player Starfield?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Bethesda usually does those big single player epics. And then you get the modding community that adds multiplayer years later, whatever. So
Hmm.
I would like to see multiplayer. That would be cool, but they're never meant to be multiplayer.
Yeah,
All right,
fair enough.
guys, any final words?
Um,
Fortnite
Fortnite Olympic
you
sport.
Mark
Olympics?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, you had mentioned that there, the Olympic Fortnite.
but it's actually going to be a shooting contest, which is I don't know why they chose Fortnite for a shooting contest for esports Olympics, but
Just to get the name in and the crowd, I guess. That's really weird.
Go
Okay.
Sniper Elite or something like that.
Yeah, or even or Call of Duty, or even Battlefield. So, all right, Lee, any final words? Got anything?
Yeah, I've just found that you can like buy or design your own Redfall Xbox controller
Yes.
for £70.
They look really good,
Um,
though, man. They do look good.
They do, but it just shows in how much expectation they had in how much faith they had in their own success.
No, I know.
Given that the controllers that they're making that you can design your own actually look better than the game itself. So
I get it, Lee. I get it. All right, Mark, where can they find you on all your socials?
you'll find me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Ultimate Hater 87.
Excellent. And thank you for joining as well. Bebo23450, thank you for following. Weezy, so good to see you. And Lee, where can they find you on all your socials?
if full streaming, I'm around.
Oh,
And you
really?
know
What about
that.
the next 3 days, Lee?
Oh,
Going to
I'm
London to see Camilla.
Yeah, that's right.
It's all good.
Good.
All right. Cool.
Camilla's everywhere.
Thank you, Mark, for joining us today. Really appreciate it, dude.
Thank you guys.
And Lee, as always, thank you. Guys, if you have any feedback, if you have any stuff, if you're watching on YouTube, just leave a comment, whatever. Send me a message on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. You can send me a message on Xbox. I probably won't reply on Xbox, but I just don't want to type through on the controller. It's just dumb. But I could do it on my iPad. But anyways, whatever. So here we go. So
Phil Spencer needs to fix that typing on a controller.
No, there's nothing to fix, honestly.
It's all his fault.
Yeah, he needs to resign. No way. Phil Spencer, savior of gaming. Just saying. So here we go. As for Mark, and as for Lee, my name is Paul, and you guys take care. Excellent. Dang, I was really mouthy on that one. Lots of me rambling.
It's all good.
Oh,
I think
Yeah,
I think I rambled a bit myself, to be honest.
that's okay. It's all right. Mark, what were you gonna
Yeah,
say?
I mean, you guys had a whole lot to talk about today with that Redfall disaster, and
Wow.
I mean, it'll be okay eventually.
Eventually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get the point that it shouldn't be eventually, like the term eventually shouldn't be, or me saying in a year. I get that we shouldn't have to say that. It's just that's what we're in right now, and that's the situation. And you look at these epic games like Battlefield 2042. That's so much fun now. The gameplay is amazing. So
Bet you Phil Spencer's getting daily updates on Starfield right now.
yeah, they're all in on Redfield, and it's I need it. I'm looking up WrestleQuest right now on on Xbox, showing Microsoft Store. Hold on here. It says Tag Team with Destiny, Pro Wrestling, and RPG Fantasy collide in the ultimate pixel-powered adventure. Macho Man Randy Savage, they have the license? What? And tons of other icons offer guidance as you powerbomb your way to glory beyond the ring. Hero's Journey ain't just an epic quest. So it's got Coco Beware, Jake the Snake, Andre the Giant, the guy in the middle, that I would assume is supposed to be me, Macho Man, Legion of Doom, and Sergeant Slaughter. All these old school wrestling fans is going to make me want to play this stupid game. Big Casino, darn you.
Ching, ching.
Not currently available. Can I put it on a wish list though? Shoot. Yeah, so that's where we're at, guys, and I have insane high hopes for Starfield, and everyone else does too. And if that fails, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, what else are we looking forward to? But
Not of that magnitude.
I don't play Xbox for exclusives anyways. I never have. I just like the brand. I like the console. I like the controller is obviously my favorite. All right, I can't even add this to my wish list, so I'm gonna have to wait. When's it coming out? May 2023. So it may not be this year, or sorry, this month.
It's all Phil Spencer's fault.
No,
Yeah.
listen.
It's easier to blame on somebody else.
Oh, for
yeah.
sure. Okay, this WrestleQuest is actually super friggin' awesome. I can't believe this. I'm watching it on Steam right now.
Could get WWE 2K23. Now we've got WrestleQuest.
8-bit WrestleQuest. All right, check for dynamic backgrounds as well. Sony is king. Go to Halifax, Big Casino. Sony is king.
I was considering to get the new WWE 2K, but I mean, I barely played the 2K22 as it is, so
Yeah.
They said it is a better game though.
How? The other one was awesome. Ching ching. The other one was awesome.
Oh yeah, I just didn't play a whole lot of it. That's my problem.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I spoke so much that even my throat's just like, what are you doing, Paul? My background and dynamic backgrounds. Let's go. So Ghostwire Tokyo one looks cool. We don't want them.
I passed by that. Gaz put out on his Discord golf with friends today, and I looked into it. That's a game on Game Pass, so I might try that out, see how that is.
Sure.
I've played that before.
Is it good?
Yeah. I mean, like it's a small little game. Like it's harmless. It's yeah. It's like it's just a bit of crazy golf with abilities or something.
Yeah, golf with friends is all right.
Yeah.
Okay, the Star Wars Jedi Survivor. But you know what's funny? I'm looking at these dynamic backgrounds. The Destiny one is amazing. But I'm gonna put on the Star Wars Jedi Survivor one just because it's Star
why?
Yeah. No sarcasm there, Lee. Send me a picture of your desktop background, dude, because like
Yeah.
I'm looking at my dynamic background with the homepage and I can hardly see any of it because there's so much stuff on there. So I'm very excited for the new background.
I can't be mad at anything Xbox does this year. They gave me back GoldenEye.
Yeah, which is awesome. GoldenEye was fun. All right, cool. All right, so I'm just checking.
What it's all about.
So that's what it's all about. That's right. Excellent. All right, I'm hopping out of here. Lego 2K Drive is coming this month. Ooh.
I thought it was next month.
All right, we'll see. All right, boys and girls, thank you for sticking around for the after. I'm just talking to the chat right now. I know James jumped off last time. He's like, all right, thank you, guys. Have a wonderful day, guys. I'll see you. I should be able to see you tomorrow. I'm working